Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the long-awaited Season 9 tier list, my own personal tier list for Mario Superstar Baseball. This is a Stars Off tier list. I know a lot of new people are coming in. This is for Stars Off only. It's based on how I thought everything went between Season 8 and the end of the normal season for Season 9. We just started the playoffs. I believe Spencer and Colin, as well as Billy and T-Bling, tore it up last week. This week you get to see myself and City Hall and some other matchups. It's a good time, but that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about the overall player performances this season. So I'm just going to dive right in. We're going to look at numbers 27 through 32 all at the same time because they're all basically equally who cares. Coming in at 32, we got Paragoomba, 31 Goomba, 30 Monty, 29 Baby Luigi, 28 Baby Mario, 27 Peach. All of these characters, unfortunately, because a lot of them are beloved, should probably never see a competitive game of Mario Superstar Baseball. Peach is a good pitcher who is not the best pitcher. She's probably in the top 5, but that's not good enough. She can't hit. She can't do much in the field. She's like okay in the infield because a quick throw, but not much else. The babies are terrible. They're fast and they have wall jump, but they are so small that having wall jump is almost negated by how bad they are at catching the other stuff that goes into the outfield. Baby Mario can hit a little better, that's why he's a spot higher, but really it doesn't matter. Monty and Goomba are two little goobers who have ball dash. I think Monty having that longer reach on the bat is why he's a little higher, and then Paragoomba sucks. We're going to tackle the entire next group together as well. So 26 through 21. We got Toad at 26, Toadette at 25, Koopa at 24, Shy Guy at 23, BJ at 22, and Daisy at 21. Now, these are the kind of characters that, like, if they're on your team, you're not going to be hurting, but they're definitely, like, niche picks, you know? It's like, oh, my opponent got Mario and Luigi, so I need another wall jumper, so maybe I need a BJ or Toadette. Oh, I have some good Birdo chem, so maybe I'll take Shy Guy. I really want to do a Falcon Pop, so give me a Koopa or Toad. And Daisy is like, oh, my opponent got Pianta and Wario and DK and Birdo, and they're like having a crazy infield, so I need to do something. I personally like Daisy a lot more than the average person, but I tried to be a lot more objective in this season's tier list. I'm good with her singles bat. Her star hit's not great, though. She's, again, like maybe a 6th seed pitcher. Great infield, but, you know, there's other characters that are better that do the same position. So she's a great bench warmer, I think. If you were to have a team and you could take like 12 characters and twiddle with them as you need, maybe she's good for that, but probably not on a starting lineup. Let's get into the nitty gritty. 20 through 18 are our star hitters, 20 being Dry Bones, 19 being Loki, and 18 being Para. They're all basically equally good. They can all hit a slap hit when they need to, but their bread and butter is their stars. Bones I put last, he doesn't really have a fielding position. I do think he could be on the up because the curse ball is starting to do a little bit more notable work preventing home runs, but we're still not really fully known about what's going on there. Noki and Para, I usually would switch them, but Noki's been kind of underperforming for me lately, and I think she's a little bit better in the outfield, but Para having that good arm and that super jump makes him just a little bit more viable. All right, going forward with the rest of this tier list, we are going to be going one at a time. These are where the characters are unique enough to warrant that. 17 is Wario. Some people are going to think this is a little too low. I think it's right where he belongs. He is good. He should be in most games. His slap hit is totally fine. He does have home run potential, especially with characters like Boo and Waluigi. The star hit is not great, but totally not the worst in the game. And he's a great infielder. He has such crazy dive range. He makes plays you'll never see anyone else make, sans a Yoshi. He's really good. I think people overvalue him because of how much people value Waluigi. We're going to see Waluigi in a bit. I don't think Waluigi is as overly hyped as Wario, but I think the idea that, oh, I have Waluigi, so I'm going to take Wario because he's going to make easier dingers is a little dumb because yeah, you could totally hit a dinger more easily with Waluigi, but it still isn't, it's not like brain dead. It's not like, oh, now they're both here, this is free. And I think people kind of hinder their lineup by taking him. I'm not saying they shouldn't take him. I'm saying if you take Waluigi, I don't think you should be taking Wario the same turn. Your opponent's not going to want Wario, that Waluigi. Take him later. 16 is Luigi. He is pretty good. I like his slap hit a lot. I like his wall jump. I like his super jump. He's good defensively. You put him in right field or even maybe first base if you got Mario out there already. And the Luigi Fireball has recently gotten a little bit of a resurgence. It's pretty good. It's guaranteed single. As long as you time it right, you want to push it to left field, and then it'll probably guarantee you get the single. He's not bad. Got Ken with some good characters. He's a pretty, I think, honestly, Mario's supposed to be like the middle guy, the all-arounder. I really think Luigi's the all-arounder. Mario, I think, is a lot better. But I think Luigi's like, yeah, man, I'll hit the ball, catch the ball, do a cool little trick. And that's what you want for him. Coming in at 15, Dixie Kong. This is a big up for me. I've been pitching with Dixie Kong a little bit off camera and on camera lately. I gave her a little less credit than I should have. I think she is a really good pitcher. I might even like her pitching a little more than Diddy Kong, and her singles bat is also pretty good. Diddy Kong has the, let's just pull Diddy Kong up while we're here. Diddy Kong's number 14. They're the two, some people would argue the best pitchers in the game. The only other person in the discussion is Boo. It's Boo and these two little monkeys. They're very similar characters. They have short bats that you have to kind of swing late, push it to the left field. It's a little easier to do with Dixie Kong. Her pitching might be a little better, but Diddy Kong still has that speed advantage, the two abilities, glue hand and clamber, whereas Dixie only has clamber, which is useless. And the banana ball, if you don't have, if your opponent doesn't have Yoshi and you do, the banana is worth doing sometimes. So just because of that, I give them that little edge, like a little bit, but they're inherently the same. I would say it's funny that the numbers worked out that like he's in a different tier. These tiers are kind of the ones I've been using forever. They're really not a good representation. Honestly, whatever the net play guys did like a whole number breakdown. If I ever have the time to do something like that, I'll change this. But for now, we're going with these 5 tiers. But yeah, Diddy and Dixie, relatively the same. I give Diddy the littlest bit of a nudge. 13, here he is, Waluigi. I think top 10 is absurd. I think top 10 is basically solved. I think you could argue the 10, 11 spots here, but I just don't think Waluigi's in there. He is very good. He can hit that ball, just like Dixie and Diddy can, right up the left field. Very hard to stop, but he's got better fielding position. He's one of the best corner basemen, and he's also a backup pitcher. He's probably not going to be a premier pitcher, but he is like probably 4th best in the game. His star hit is absolute pants. Never use it. But between his corner baseman performances, his ability to probably more reliably hit that slap than Diddy Kong, at least, probably on par with Dixie Kong, in my opinion. Plus, you know, there's the chem stuff people love, and it's also he's just a fan favorite, man. Sometimes being a fan favorite gets you a few points. I think 13 is the perfect spot for him. Your Jasons would say he's top 10. Some online people might say that, but I think the people that are ahead of him, like, you know, it's a little negotiable. 12 and 11, like, you know, that's his range. Like, he's 11 to 13. On mine, he's 13. 12 is Toadsworth. Toadsworth has fallen a little bit. He, for seasons and seasons and seasons, was the number 10 spot. We used to think the top 10 was solved. Now it's kind of ambiguous because people are a little down on Toadsworth. His slap hit is still incredible. His SAR hit is incredible. He's a good relief pitcher. I'd probably put him like maybe 7th or 8th best. He's kind of in like the it doesn't matter how good he is, but he's there he's given up 7 runs already. Fielding, he's not great. He's really slow. He's got glue hands though, so he usually gets stuffed in center field just to make those high pop-up plays. But yeah, just the amount of just good hits he lays down is enough to get on this 12 spot. 11, the Pink Menace Pianta. I think Pianta is very good. People probably would have him be in the 10 spot. I think he's the average person's 10. He can rip dingers, especially with Noki Chem. He is one of the best infielders, between a long dive range and laser being his ability. He saves a lot of runs and hits. We recently found out he's got the Falcon Pop, so you can make him righty for Falcon Pop, or you can make him lefty to go for home runs. He's got a good bag of tricks, but he is hard to hit with, so you need to do a little bit of training. But once you get it down, I think he is a real threat. Oh, Tchaikovsky going hard right now because we're entering the top 10, baby. Number 10, I got Mario. This might be controversial. I think Mario's great, and I think people are just now starting to really get on the Mario train. He's got great slap hits. As long as you're not dumb and swinging outside pitches, you can get those hits down. He's the best right fielder in the game because he's got a pretty all-around stats, and he's got the wall jump, and you're making up for it on the bat. Just right field, obviously, Toadette would probably be the best, but we're talking like, this is the guy you want in your right field, probably. And the fireball is what everyone's starting to talk about now. Now that we know how to time star hits, and if you swing late, it goes one way, swing early, it goes the other way, bat contact frames, I think his fireball could be just as deadly as a Birdo ball in the right hands. All you gotta do is know, you gotta know where to put it. If you slice it, you're gonna kill the pitcher and guarantee a first baseman. If you can get it right in between the infielders, it's going to go into the outfield for a double. I think it's very good. I think he's underrated right now. I think everyone's just starting to come around, so I'm glad that I've always been tooting the Mario 10 spot, because not always, but I always put him higher than I think everyone else does, and I'm glad I think we're starting to see people come around. And number 9, we got Magic Koopa. Absolutely a menace. No one does what Magic Koopa does. He is the best corner baseman with the magical catch and the height. It's insane. His star hit is immaculate. His slap hit is pretty good. That's really all there is to him, but it's enough, man. Leading off with him into a Bowser, it's terrifying. You're usually loading the bases up. It's insane. So Magic Koopa, definitely. If the top 8 weren't like always gonna be the top 8, I would say Madge would be moving up, but again, this is where I think the top 9 are kind of always gonna be in the order they are, minus maybe a few like individual swaps, but I just think this is the way it is. Let's do it. Top 8, it's my main squeeze, Boo. He's not my main squeeze, I got my numbers mixed up. He is the less royal version of one of my main squeezes. Best pitcher in the game for sure. Incredible bat, landing doubles regularly. And that's really, those are the 2 things he does. Those are the 2 things he does. They're very worth talking about. Being the best pitcher in the game is huge. Having an incredible bat is huge. I personally think the reason he's 8 of the 8 is that pitching, it's not solved, but I think pitching is a little less valuable than what these other guys have. The pitchers that I have lower, the monkeys, they are a little higher than the online people would put. They have a little bit of a bigger gap. They have Boo higher up and the monkeys lower up, as they're valuing Boo. I think if you're a good pitcher, you're good with the monkeys and Boo, and thus I wouldn't waste an early pick on Boo, as I know I can still get a monkey in the tail end and be happy. So I think Boo is good. I think he's the 8th spot though. Now my main squeeze, King Boo. I love King Boo. I put him way high last tier list, which was unrealistic. I'm trying to be realistic. I love King Boo though. He's got incredible slap hit, incredible star hit, incredible home run potential. He's a good relief pitcher. He's great on the corner bases. He kind of has something to do everywhere. You're never going to regret picking him. I would love to say he's going to move up, but I think realistically with the newer things we've found, these top 6 are never changing. Number 6, I got Birdo. Birdo, I would have put it like my 8 hole. I would have even given Boo the bump. Maybe even Madge. I maybe would have even put Birdo 9th. But ever since we found out about the slice, that like that one frame where if you hit the ball perfectly, it goes right up the middle and cannot be caught by anyone other than a really amazingly timed Yoshi manual fielder select, it's hard to ignore how good she is. If you are an incredible player and you can get those frames down like a Jason, you're going to land the egg every time. It's going to be devastating. So it's hard to ignore that. On top of that, she's one of the best infielders in the game. So, and one of the best captains. It's like, it's just incredible. 6 might even be a little too low, but that's where I'm putting her right now. Going in the Bro. Bro is one of the best home run hitters in the game. It's got 3 versions. Hammer's great. Boomer's great. Fire Bro's there. Hammer Bro, I think, is pretty universally agreed on to be the best of them. Ripping homers as long as you change his bat. He does have Falcon Pop, but you're never going to use it. Boomerang Bro is a little more like, you know, I'm considering slapping, I'm considering starring, that's his purpose, but it's not worth it. You gotta grow with the times, get that boomer energy out of here. Hammer Bro all the way, but he is for sure one of the best. You're gonna notice a lot of things in common with these tops, other than maybe one, they hit rip dingers like it's no one's business, and he deserves the 5 spot. Next up is Yoshi. This is one of those switchable ones, right? If you value home runs so much, I get putting Yoshi 5, but I think Yoshi is 4 because at the end of the day, Yoshi does something that literally no other character does. Yoshi has so much field coverage that it will stop so many balls from landing. It's incredible. And you know, the argument some people have is, yeah, but Yoshi can't stop a Hammer Bro dinger. Sure, you know what Yoshi can stop though? Literally like every other hit below that. Like being able to negate the rest of the field is still very valuable. So I think it's more important than having another home run hitter, assuming you have, you know, 2 of these top 3, which is usually how it goes based on the draft. I think Yoshi's invaluable. I think the egg ball is even worth it if you're in a position where, you know, you got maybe a scorer or runner on third, or you need to get a single. It'll usually land as long as you have some good contact. It'll usually land safely. I think Yoshi's incredible. Every position, there's a reason everyone goes, this person's the best at this position, except for Yoshi, because Yoshi can play every position incredibly. All the outfield ones, both of the infield ones, it's nuts. All right, top 3, here we go. Donkey Kong. One of the most versatile players in the game. Great slap hit, great star hit with the banana, can rip home runs, an incredible infielder, Chem with some great partners. You got Petey Chem, you got Monkey Chem. DK is great. He's a lot of people's number 2. I think there's a conversation to be had about switching him and the next person as well. Obviously not the way I feel, but he's an absolutely incredible person. That charge hit is underrated. You've been seeing Mr. Joe has been training. He loves Donkey Kong. He's been ripping dingers with Donkey Kong left and right recently. So I think you might see Donkey Kong move up 1 spot with this other person. It's possible, but where I stand right now, I'm thinking maybe season 10. Number 2 is Petey Piranha. This guy rips dingers. That's all he does. He rips dingers like it's no one's business. It's absolutely incredible. And on top of that, he is the only catcher worth talking about. So when you draft Petey, you're basically negating steals for your enemy team as well as putting up runs after runs after runs. And he's got arguably the best chem partners in the game. DK, Birdo, King Boo. That's absolutely nuts. So I gotta give him the credit. I think he's number 2. I think he's so good. I can't even, there's no more words to say. You just watch the videos, see what he does, you'll get it. And who could number 1 be? Obviously it's Bowser. This will probably never change unless we change something about how we play. Right now, Bowser is just nuts. Yeah, if you take him, he has to be your captain, but he makes up for it in either ripping dingers whenever someone decides to pitch to him or being a free base. On top of that, he's got laser, so if you stick him at first or third, or maybe even the infield if you're crazy, that laser will negate some plays. He's got a big hitbox, he can make some plays, you can put him at catcher, he's got a pretty strong arm, not as good as Petey's, but he does work. He's gonna put up a billion runs, and the fact that he's not a total dunce in the fielding world makes him an easy number 1. There are murmurs, there are talks about possibly making him shift his handedness, which makes him slightly worse, and then using that as a nerf to justify him not being a captain. I don't know. I don't keep up with that play. I don't know how likely that is to happen. And if it does, I don't know if it would be enough to make him move down. We'd have to see. But Bowser, I think, is the undisputed number 1 as far as the base game goes. Don't think you're ever going to see someone have a tier list without him number 1. Just the way it is. So that's the tier list. Hope you like it. Before we go, I'm going to just do a little bit of comparisons. First off, let's check out that season 8 tier list comparison. Even though this was only about a year ago, I was an idiot. I was a dumb little boy. Some of these things I have are just undeniably wrong. That bottom group, you know, still pretty bad. Toadette, still pretty bad. I'm glad everyone's starting to notice Toadette's pretty bad. Mr. Joe still pick her for a haha, but I think everyone's decided that she just isn't good. Dixie that low on my season 8 tier list was a total, I just never used her. And I was like, why should I even put her high? Diddy Kong's right there. But I finally started pitching with her. I've seen the light. She is infinitely better than that position. Same goes for Waluigi. I still don't love him, but you gotta game, respect game. Huge boost from Waluigi. Shy Guy was a bit high because we had just discovered the Falcon Pop, and he was one of the biggest, like, he went from being nothing to something. So that was right when the tier list came out, so we all gave him a big bump, probably a little undeserved. Then, you know, I've got my star hitters a little scattered. I don't think that was right. I think the star hitters all kind of fill the same role. They're all going to play a random outfield spot, and they're going to lay out star hits. So they're all basically interchangeable, so I think they all deserve to be together. So you bump Noki down, you move Dry Bones up, you fix all that. As much as it pains me, I love Daisy. I play very well with Daisy, but Daisy is not that high. She should never have been that high. She is a great like swap in, but just because I'm good with Daisy doesn't mean she is an objectively good character. If people are coming to watch this video for objective facts, I can't have her that high anymore. And then, you know, I decided we moved Toadsworth down, we switched Pianta and Mario. And then as far as the top goes, like I said, I had King Boo 4. I love King Boo, but he just can't say he's that good. It isn't true. He's not better than Bro. He's not better than Birdo. Obviously, like I said, this was right before the slice, so I had Birdo at 8 of 8, but that slice changed up the game. And then, you know, I had DK over PD last time. This time I have PD over DK. That's something that might shift every season, but huge mistakes in that season 8 tier list. Season 9 tier list I think is gonna make a lot of people happier. I think a lot of people are gonna respect this decision. Among them, I hope, are the net players, because if you take a look at this, you compare the season 9 tier list to the net play tier list, a lot of this is very similar. Those bottom 6 are the bottom Toad and Peach are swapped, but those bottom 7 are the bottom 7. Then you have you know, your Koopa. They have I still think they have Daisy too low. I think Daisy is better than everyone. I put her ahead of kind of bar none, but everyone's kind of in the same groupings. Like you see how they letter them, the F's, the D's, the C's, the B's. Everyone's kind of in the right spot. The few exceptions are they have the, like I said in the video, they have the pitchers, the monkeys a little too low. I think you do need to value your pitcher a little higher than that. Yeah, you can possibly save your pitcher for your last pick, which is why they're there, but if someone comes through and gets a Boo and them, you're screwed so hard. You really want to have one of them as your pitcher. If you don't, it's going to be a big L. So I think it's important to have them a little higher. Not saying crazy higher, but I think just above your Wario and your Luigi. Pianta, everyone in Dinger City and a lot of people I've spoken to on NetPlay, not all of them obviously, think Pianta's way too low on this list. He does way more than people give him credit for. I think he should get shifted up right into that A- group. I think he could be right among those 4, and you can shuffle him up however you please. You'll see it, they have Mario 12, Toadsworth 11, Waluigi 10. We obviously have like the inverse of that with Pianta in the mix. But again, everyone on my tier list is within a spot or 2 of where they are on the NetPlay tier list, other than like I think just Pianta and Daisy. Everyone, they're all really close. And then we have, you know, Madge right there at 9. They have Boo and King Boo flopped, no problem. I think that's reasonable. Birdo right there at number 6, and they have Bro and Yoshi flopped, which I think, again, no problem, totally reasonable if you love home runs. And then top 3 is exactly the same. So I'm hoping I gain a little more respect for this tier list. I made it, you know, just one night. I sat down, I wasn't like looking at the NetPlay tier list and going, ooh, how can I make this look like I didn't just copy it? You know, let me see your homework, just make sure it's not exactly the same. This was right out of my heart. I think you can tell by where Daisy is. But I think as I've gotten better, as I've, you know, matured, I can understand that this is roughly what the tier list should be looking like. And, you know, every season I'm going to bring you a new one. There might be some crazy changes. Maybe someone finds the Monty Moonball tech we've been looking for. But until then, I think this is a really solid tier list. I think Paragoomba 32, Goomba 31, Monty 30, Baby Luigi 29, Baby Mario 28, Peach 27, Toad 26, Toadette 25, Koopa 24, Shy Guy 23, BJ 22, Daisy 21, Bones 20, Noki 19, Para 18, Wario 17, Dixie 16, Luigi 15. That ain't right. Those guys are supposed to be backwards. Oh well, you've seen through my ruse. I will now reveal my ruse to you. I decided while setting this up that I liked Dixie more than Luigi. There, you happy? You can see it. I made a mild change mid-recording. I thought you wouldn't catch me. I forgot to do it on the last slide. Sue me. I can, even a wise man can admit when he makes mistakes. But yeah, then we got Diddy in the 14, Waluigi 13, Toadsworth 12, 11 Pianta, top 10 Mario, Madge 9, Boo 8, KB 7, Birdo 6, Bro 5, Yoshi 4, DK 3, PD 2, Bowser 1. I'm gonna bring us back to the first slide for the proper tier list, because this is what it's supposed to look like with the little scuffed Diddy, Dixie, and Luigi. So this is my final tier list. Let me know what you think. Let me know where you would have put the players. Let me know what you think about how I've evolved, how I've devolved. Give me any input you'd like. And thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Leave all those comments I just said, like the video, subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000. We're more than halfway there. I appreciate everyone for helping me do that. If I could get 1,000 subscribers one day, I would be over the moon. I'd pick any one of these characters and take them to prom. That's how much I'd be in love with the situation. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, that all tracks. All right, guys, thanks for watching. I've been me, you've been me. Did I just say I've been you, you've been me? Guys, scuffed the end of this so hard. Don't make fun of me in the comments. Bye.